Welcome to RidgeLife. I'm Tim, and today we have a special video for you. We are at Eco Panels of Tennessee. We're going to put together our off-grid barn house using structural insulated panels, or SIPs. Let's do this. Slide it over. Start with getting the top in. Once you got the top in, you can kick over, get the bottom in, and that should line everything up. Get out the handy dandy Allen wrench and you start at the bottom. He said he's been using the same Allen wrench for 2 years now. And I get in here, find the mechanism. If I can find it, there we go. Do a right and it pulls it right together just like that. Lock. There we go. You get it in there, lock, and that just pulls it right together. Boom. All right, see if I'm tall enough for this top one. 9 foot, locked in place. I just installed my first structural insulated panel wall. Yeah. We are inside the factory now here at Eco Panels of Tennessee. I'm with Joey. How you doing, Joey?
That's me.
Yes, sir. We are actually inside the second story panels for my off-grid timber frame structural insulated panel home. They've almost got the entire downstairs done. Now we're going to start assembling the upstairs. I wish I'd have been here for the entire process, but you got a little problem going on.
We're covered up. We got second shift going. We're running out of room to store everything.
That's a good problem to have.
That's a good problem to have.
So you got how many structural independent homes do you think you guys do in a year now? What the rate you're going?
Depends on the size and the complexity. We can do one a week.
Wow.
We can, but now a harder house, bigger house. I mean, it all depends.
Yeah, so mine's actually a pretty small one, right? 1,600 square foot.
It's good size though. It's good.
Yeah. And we're using structural insulated panels. And for the people at home that don't know what a structural insulated panel is, it is a high pressure polyurethane injected foam core between two wood panels. Now we are using zip board on the outside. It is all weather board. You know, you don't need house wrap on it or anything. And then on the inside, you got OSB. Now, I guess this is considered a 4-inch, is that right? 4.5, and you also have 6-inch? 6.5, okay. I think one of the ones you're doing over there is a 6.5, isn't it?
The roofs, a lot of times.
Oh, those are roof, okay. So, yeah, down south here, we pretty much use these 4.5, right? Yeah. Up north, they need more insulated. Now, this is an R26? Yeah. That is crazy. What is the 6.5 inch?
R40.
R40. Now, that's typically what a, now see, my house is gonna have 2 4-inch polyurethane foams in the roof, and those are each R40? Or what's a 4-inch, just a typical roof panel?
For R26.
R26, you do 2, okay. Yeah, so I'm not using SIP panels for my roof. I'm just going to use the polyurethane foam with the tongue and groove and then the decking on top of that. But you do houses with SIP panel roofs, right? Okay.
Now the valleys and the ridges and all that, will that meet? If it's a good continuous straight line, yes, we will.
Okay.
We don't like to join up. We don't want the customer having issues when we don't line up just right.
And so these panels go together very quickly. Now, like how long did it take you to assemble?
Well, one guy done that in a day. One guy.
Now you're gonna make me look bad. They just said one guy did it in a day. It's gonna take me a long time.
It's easy here. We ain't got to drill the holes and all that.
You're on concrete. You're using a forklift.
Yeah.
Mine's gonna be up on a foundation, and you have to get a telehandler and all that stuff.
But saying that, a couple guys, y'all can have that up in a day.
Excellent. Now, let's say I build my house like that. It's on the subfloor. How long can I have it out in the weather before I put the roof on it?
You use the zip.
Yep.
You can be out months.
Okay.
Once it's in, you're good. Now, if it's sitting on a truck and sitting stored somewhere, that OSB will swell when it gets wet.
Right.
It's going to make it hard to go on your base plate and your steel plate. Okay. That's the only issue we've come across. As far as structure, it's going to be fine because your foam is not going to deteriorate.
Right.
It's going to be there no matter what.
Okay. And to connect these panels, guys, this one,
that one's a header.
Is a header. So what this is, this goes across the top of this window right here. I've got these real long, narrow windows. So this will slide in these little grooves up here. Now the wall sections have cam locks. We'll show you those here in just a little bit. I believe I got 9-foot walls, so those are 4 or 5 cam locks per wall. 4 cam locks per wall. And basically, you just stick an Allen wrench in there, lock it in place. Now, I believe I was told each one pulls with like 5,000 pounds.
I don't know the number, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
And then, of course, you're not only doing cam locks, we're going to be using spray foam, right? So we'll spray. You're not doing that today, right? That'd be bad if they spray foam my house. It'd be here forever, wouldn't it?
Yep.
All right, well, I think we need to start putting a house together.
Yep, we can do it.
Appreciate you, Joe.
Thank you.
Let's get around the corner here and check out Jordan here. He is getting, again, our second story. This is the second story to my house. I'll show you the main story here in just a little bit. I told you, they started on this yesterday. I drove up here from Memphis, and they're just northeast of Nashville, and they had to get this going. So I got up here to see the second story built, and then I'll give you a tour of the first story. So let's check out, see what he's doing. Jordan's planing the edges of these, that way they slide in a little smoother. Sometimes they swell up a little, humidity and everything, so make it fit just right. Now they do all this here, so I won't have to do it on site. This is actually my house. All of these panels are mine. So all these adjustments he does ensures that when it comes to my site location and I start putting it together myself, everything fits together perfectly. This is my house right here. We can see this is the lower floor, the front entryway, back entryway. This is the second story. And what the second story does fits right over the center, gives me that big giant 16 by 40 great room. And if we pull this drawing over here, you can actually see that. Look at this. This is the front of my house. There's the windows, doors. This is that second story we're building right now. That's what this is right here, is that second story. So that big window is that window right up there. So you don't have the trusses over here yet. Those will be on later, but I'll show you those panels as well. All right, so imagine this is the top second story looking up at my house. There's the opening right there. And they have these long windows. They're gonna be all the way down, one after the other as we build this. Now this is a header. This header is gonna slide down in there in the grooves. See these grooves right here? Going to slide down in these grooves, stop at this 2x4. This is like your, what do you call that? King stud, jack stud, I don't know. And a conventional stick frame home. So this thing will slide down in this groove, zip board on the outside, regular OSB on the inside. Now eventually I will, when I go to put it in, I'll spray foam it and lock it in place. And you can see here, we've also got places for conduit. Where's the conduit at? That might be on the outside. Let's go check that out. So now I'm on the outside. You can see I've got these boxes here. These boxes will be actually in the attic space. That way I can get power inside because there'll be big timber frame, what do you call them? Trusses, big timber frame trusses extending out into the great room. And I have to have ceiling fans, lights and everything. So I can bring the power from the attic space inside. All right, Jordan's gonna put this window header in right up there. I'm actually gonna put that wall panel in myself here in just a second. It's nice when you have this fork truck in the shop right here. You can just lift it up, set it down in there, and then he's got a ladder available to get it pushed down in. I'll have a telehandler whenever I'm doing my job. Also, of course, I have Old Blue with her forks. And of course, we'll just do a lot of muscle. Once he got these shaved and everything planed down, things should fit together a lot smoother. Now, you don't want to let this stuff get wet because that OSB will swell and that will cause you problems. So I got to keep this stuff when it ships to my house nice and dry. Now, they'll come on pallets and like Tyvek zip, packaging. So as long as I don't cut into it, they should stay nice and dry. Well, he's pretty good at this, isn't he? He's about as good at fork truck operator as old David is with Uber, and actually David does Old Blue pretty good too. Got everything lined up. Jordan's been doing this a few years. How long have you been doing this, Jordan?
About 2 years.
2 years. Well, he's put together a few of these panels. Just slide down in there, look at that. Like a glove, like a glove. And we can see these panels will stop as soon as they hit these studs right here. And there's really no studs in these structural insulated panel walls. There is very few thermal bridging points with the wood in the walls. It's pretty much injected polyurethane foam all around. Now, these panels here with headers do have the wood, and that's what makes it stop. And you notice there's no cam locks either, but you've got wood for your screws to fasten into to hold everything nice. And of course, you'll expanding foam everything too. We're not doing that today. We're just doing the dry fit. But look at there, guys. There is an upstairs horizontal window. Look how big those windows are, and they're going to be all the way down the upstairs. Going to let in a lot of light. Of course, we got the big front window over there, and I've got an identical one on the other side. So there you go, guys. There's a header installed. He was just showing me this header compared to this header. So that 2x4 and that one, this one is LVL. So you can see this is compressed, and it is super heavy. That is solid all the way through. Look at that. So that is a heavy header. It's basically the same thing over it's basically the ones for the gable end. So that one's like that, and this one will be on this end. Boom. So one of the things you got to take into account, like I said, the floor was not level right here, so this footer is low. So the header actually bottomed out right here. So that's why it's not all the way down up there, is because the footer is low. So this panel should go a little bit lower, and that'll fit down better. So I'm learning all these things as we go here, so I don't make the mistakes at home when I'm outside in the sun. I'd rather learn it now in the shade. All right, Jordan's giving me instruction on how to install these walls myself. Now, luckily this is a small one to start with. So what he said is slide it over, start with getting the top in. Once you got the top in, you can kick over, get the bottom in, and that should line everything up. Get out the handy dandy Allen wrench, and you start at the bottom. He said he's been using the same Allen wrench for 2 years now. And I get in here, find the mechanism. If I can find it, there we go. Do a right, and it pulls it right together, just like that. Lock. There we go. You get in there, lock, and it just pulls it right together. Boom. All right, see if I'm tall enough for this top one. 9 foot, locked in place. I just installed my first structural insulated panel wall. Yeah. Let's see if I can do this one the same way. So slide it over, top in first. There, top in first. Kick the bottom in so it's lined up. It is. There we are. All right, now this should lock it in place. If I got it far enough in there, it pulls it in. Nope. Oh yeah, that sound right there. Oh my goodness, that'll get you. That'll get you. Now lock, 2, 3, and 4. Panel number 2, down. This is the last panel on the main section of the house. We just finished putting together the second story section. I almost got closed in there. I had to move my camera over because that was completely, there's no doors up here. This is the second story. So I had to move my camera over. But so this is the last section we have on the downstairs. Then I'll be giving you a full tour here shortly. But you guys saw in that time lapse, us getting all that together. I learned a lot. I learned some things to do and some things not to do. The reason we dry fit this here at the factory is to make sure there's no problems when you're building it on site. And we had a small problem. In this footer section here, this wall section, the 2x4 was up a little too high. We actually had to cut that out with a multi-tool and a Sawzall. And it was, the drawings, would see there was the issue right here. The issue is right here. where's it at here? There's 4'2" and no 4'2". We had to have that 4'2". So we had to cut out the 2x4 in there. Again, it was done to drawing, but we had to adjust that because there's supposed to be one on that side too. Again, this is why we do it here in the factory. So all those issues are resolved before we start building it on site on the ridge, because I don't want to have to start getting the saws all out and multi-tool and start cutting stuff, because guys, this is second story. This section here is going to go on top of those 9-foot walls. Those 9-foot walls are on 3.5-foot foundation. Of course, you also have the subfloor, so you're just 4 foot high plus 9 foot plus 9 foot here. Yeah, that's pretty high. So we don't want to be cutting in the air like that. Do it here in the factory. Make sure everything fits. Of course, he's taking care of us. He's seen all this. Guys, he put this together by himself in 2 days. Now, don't be thinking I'm going to be putting this together myself in 2 days. This isn't glued together. This isn't leveled and all this stuff. But the next step, now that it's all put together, is to label everything, right? He's going to go wall 1, corner 2, wall 3, wall 4, all the way around. That way, when I go to put it together, it's just piece by piece by piece. Follow the instructions. Hopefully, I can follow the instructions. Hopefully. All right, now I'll show you how this locking mechanism goes. This is the last wall to lock today. This will be the last one. So we shift this over, it pulls right together. Oh, just like that. Let me make sure I get a little bit tighter. There we go, he's got it. Get it back in the hole, Tim. Where's the hole? There we go, all right. Boom, all right, that's good. All right, let's move up to this one. Go all the way over. Locked. Next one. Of course, when we do this for real, we'll have foam glue holding it together. Last one, all right. Up here. Good thing if I was any shorter, I wouldn't be able to do this. There we go. Last wall locked in place. These are the gables. These gables are going to be up on the top of the center sections. You know, so that section we're putting together over there is going to fit right over this 16-foot gap right there. See those cutouts? Okay, so it's going to fit right over there. These gables will be up over that end and up over that end. And what Jordan's getting ready to show me is these splices. So we have these pieces right here, and you notice there's no cam locks. No cam locks. So just like the corner piece and the cheater, with the cheater, basically a cheater is everything fits together, cam locks. Now, if your subfloor is a little bit off, that cheater piece can, that last piece can be cut down a little bit, and then you'll have these splice pieces that can go down in between. You're gonna do basically the same thing on this gable here. He's gonna show us how to do that, so. There we go. So he's got this piece right here. He's gonna screw it in. Again, all this will be taken apart when they ship it. Right now, we're just doing the dry fit and make sure everything fits perfectly. All right, so he slid that in there. Pushes right together. Put some more fasteners in. One of the nice things about using Honest Abe Log Homes and Eco Panels Tennessee, all of my fasteners, all the wood, everything I need to build my house, basically from the subfloor to the roof, will be supplied in my package. I'll have to do my own roofing, I'll have to do my own subfloor, which you've already seen my foundation. I got to get the subfloor on there. They provide all the floor joists, everything from that concrete foundation up. And he's just going to slide it together. There you go. And you can see all the conduit is already ran through each panel. I've got same thing on this side. And you can see there's that little piece. Now this will all be filled with triple expanding foam to completely seal that very, very well. Appreciate it, Jordan.
No problem.
While we're looking at these gables, let me show you something real quick. You see how this pocket is cut out? It's completely cut out. Now normally they just do a pocket like over here, and your header, your girder will fit in right there. Your girder will just slide in that pocket. But because my drawings have them cut out, what it's going to be is the girder is going to extend out for the front porch. So you can imagine I've got a 16 by 8 front porch, and that girder is going to extend out and be a beautiful one piece all the way out. So I have this 16 by 8 front porch, decking, all wood. I have the exposed trusses at the top, gonna be very, very beautiful. And then the back, that is actually going to be a 16 by 12. Y'all remember that concrete patio I had poured with the exposed white and black aggregate? That'll be back here, 16 by 12. Step down onto the, remember I got the block foundation. So we'll step down, have a big open right there. Now I do not have windows on either side there because, don't forget, I got a wood stove right inside there. Woo, gonna be comfy, cozy. Now that we've completed the top section build, let's do the tour. Okay, so remember, all this section here is gonna go on top of the main house. The main house is 1,600 square foot, and those are 9-foot walls, and I believe these are 8-foot walls that will go on top of there. Now remember, I've got a conventional foundation that are like 3 or 4 blocks high. There'll be the subfloor, so this thing's gonna be pretty high up there. So again, this is the upstairs portion. So down below will be the 16-foot by 40-foot great room. This will be above it, and here we'll have the exposed timber frame trusses, you know, the toot, 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 and then it'll be a 4 by 12 pitch roof, tongue and groove with the Douglas fir timbers on the roof. So that'll be beautiful exposed timbers up there. There'll be vertical timbers on the sides going down below. And then if we come over here, this is the main house itself. Again, 40 foot by 40 foot, 1,600 square feet. If we come to the front door, we are going to have, oops, backed into a wall. We're gonna have a 16 wide by 8 deep front porch. It's gonna have the timber frame exposed Douglas fir trusses, you know, be pitched gabled roof. We come inside, we're gonna have a big, I think we're gonna do a continental style glass panel door here. Now, if you don't know what continental is, I'll show you some pictures eventually. So on either side, we got these big windows right here. And now you see, I've got electrical boxes for lights, and we've got receptacles down there, GFI receptacles for outside. Up there, you know, Christmas lights and fans and all that kind of stuff. So there's the front. When you first come in, there's the front door. Let's walk in the front door, open it up, and boom. What we've got here is a 16-foot wide by 40-foot long great room. Now when you come in the front door, back up, as soon as you come in, we're gonna have like a giant 10-person dining room table right here. Big giant dining room table. Go to your right. This will be an open kitchen to the main great room. We'll have an island right here with gas cook stove. Gas cook stove right in the center, probably centered right in front of this window. That is the window where we'll have the sink. The countertop runs all along here, granite countertop. It actually curves this way. That's why the front windows are not giant long windows like those. They're shorter. I made them symmetrical. That's the office over there is going to have a short one because you know me, Tim's got to be OCD and symmetrical, right? So we'll have countertop right here. Look at all the receptacles I put in all the way around for the countertops. Got to have lots of receptacles. And of course, we have garbage disposals and lights. You can see we got a light box up there. There's garbage disposal power, dishwasher, everything we should need all the way around. Now, if you come into the front, looking back out the front entrance, you can see I've got receptacles down there. I've got light switches right there because up above us we'll have ceiling fans and lights and everything there. So over here, again, is the kitchen. Countertop, dishwasher, sink, countertop. The island right here. Now right here, along this wall, we'll have the refrigerator. And if we go in, there'll be a door right here, pantry door. Of course, we have receptacles right there. Washer and dryer, big pantry. Now the washer and dryer will be in a little alcove. And then right here, off the center, if you come down the center in the great room, come down the center, on this right wall, right here, will be a door going into the guest bathroom. So you have access from the great room. You'll also have access from the guest bedroom. So let's go over here. Come in, guest bedroom. And I sized the windows just right for a queen size bed. So a queen size bed will be right here. Look at the size of this window right there. Isn't that gorgeous, guys? So lots and lots of light. Come over here, there'll be a big walk-in closet. Big walk-in closet right here, and this is where that guest bathroom is going to be. So you'll come in from the guest bedroom, open this up, go in here. There'll be a shower right here, sink and toilet, and then you can go out this door to go back out into the great room. All right, so coming back to the back, you notice I do not have windows on either side of this big door. This big door, I am pretty sure is going to be a cast iron windowed glass door. So there'll be, all this will be basically a cast iron, thin cast iron frame with lots of glass, And again, the wood stove will be right here. That's why it's no window there, because you'll have a wood stove, and of course, obviously, I'm symmetrical. So right here, this is the master bedroom. Big 16 by 12 master bedroom. Come in this door right here, whoop, come inside, and we can see these windows are separated for a king size bed. So I have a big king size bed right there. Again, a big giant window right there to let all kinds of light in. We've got receptacles all the way around. You can see on either side of the king size bed, even behind the king size bed, I got receptacles, okay? So backing up, again, the door going out to the great rooms right there. Coming out this way, I've got a door going out to the bathroom. This is the master bath, and it's Jack and Jill. It will connect all the way over there to the office. So you come in, there'll be a bathtub and a shower right here. Then right in the very center, there'll be a pantry closet. Go over here and there'll be the toilet right there. Turn around, and on this wall, there'll be a big his and her sink. And on either side of it, his and her walk-in closets. And they're like 7-foot closets on each side. We do have receptacles in each closet as well. So coming through the Jack and Jill out into my office, this is where my office will be. I'll have a desk right in front of that high window there. It's still big. And then on the sides, we get these real long, low windows. Receptacles everywhere, all the way around. And then what I plan on doing, in the drawing, I've got a door right here. But I think I'm going to do a giant barn door separating this office. So you got to remember, this kitchen over here is open to the great room. And again, this great room is vaulted with the big exposed heavy timber Douglas fir trusses. So if I have in this office over here a giant barn door that will slide, remember there's nothing on this interior wall right here, it will slide over and then have that so the office will be open, like the kitchen will be open, but then whenever I need to get in there and do live streams and edit and everything, I can close that barn door, seal that off, and have some privacy. So if you look in the main great room, looking down, so there's my gables that go up on the tops. Come in, that giant 10-person table right here, exposed heavy timber trusses. Come down here into this section of the living room. We'll have a couch right here, facing out. Couch over here, end tables, and then have the fireplace over there, and the TV will be on this wall right here. Big, giant, probably 65-inch TV, 70, whatever it is, on that wall right there. So this should just be beautiful, guys. I am tickled to death about how everybody here at Honest Abe Log Homes, Eco Panels of Tennessee, have really worked hard to make my dreams come true. And you can see it is quickly coming true. Jordan's behind me finishing up, checking all the measurements, making sure everything is just right. Now that everything has been fully assembled, he's also going to make sure that all the panels are clearly labeled. Wall 1, wall 2, corner 3, all the way around, header 1, A, B, C, everything's done to the prints. That way when it comes on site, on the ridge, I'll be able to pull the drawings out and start pulling the panels, putting them in just like he's got them laid out. Again, they are very meticulous about how they take care of this process to make sure when it gets to the end user, it is spot on. Let's step into the factory real quick and we actually see how these things are made. We can see all these panels are laid out right here. And here you can see the cutouts, and there is the foam right there. That's that polyurethane injected foam. You see how it's all got the groove cutouts, everything fits together perfectly. There is a cam lock insert, so the cam lock will go in there and grab around. And look at this foam. They'll cut all this off. This is some dense stuff. Again, R26 for these 4.5-inch wall panels. You can see they lay everything out with the drawings up here, and you can actually see the wall key, and here's a house they've got going up right there. Here's all the panels. You can see there, it looks like they're doing the roof panels for this house here. So very, very cool how they get it all together. Very small crew that does this stuff, and they get it done quickly. Like he said, one house a week. And let's check each of these stations out here. What you doing here, Joey?
Building a header here.
Building a header. So this is what's going to slide in over the door or window, right? This will be actually a door, probably a door opening.
It's a window.
A window, okay. Let's see here.
So there's the header, there's the footer. So the footer just got 1.5 ton.
Yeah.
This one's got a 2 3/4 ton. So it's going to be the most weight. And on the walls that join that, it's going to be double 2x4s all the way down for just strength.
Very cool.
It's going to transfer the weight all the way down. So in between that's what's going to be your window.
And then once you get this up, you'll actually then inject that polyurethane foam in there, right? And that's a top secret, super patented process. We're not going to show that today. I won't be anywhere near over there, guys. If you want to see that, you need to buy your own structural insulated panel home. Come up here, Eco Panels. They'll show it to you firsthand.
I will say is under pressure. That's what makes the RFA use so much and so little of a space. It's closed cell foam under pressure. You can put a lot more density in this panel than you could on a regular stick frame house. When you spray in insulation, it's going to swell back out. Then they trim that off. We're keeping all that foam inside our walls.
Very good. Appreciate you, sir. They've got all kinds of materials staged up. And guys, look over there. That's another house waiting to be put together. They're waiting on me to get out of the way. So they're going to ship mine to me very, very quickly. And you can see right here is one of the stations. They actually embed all the conduits inside the panels. So the conduit, the chases, everything will be prefabbed into the wall. And then you just run your wires through it. I'll show you that in my house here in just a little bit. These guys are hard at work today trying to get another house going. We can see right here how they run the conduit through the panel. The gentleman's doing that right here, cutting the PVC conduit. Once they get all that done, they'll frame it up, put a little binder on it, and then they'll send it over to the injection station, get it all full. Another interesting fact about these corners is they've got a patented process where their corners are fully molded and injected, meaning the foam will go all the way through the corner. It's not a separate piece, and then they'll have bridging or thermal losses at the corner. This corner will have foam all the way through it, continuous. It's like pouring a continuous pour with concrete through your wall. They'll do that with foam. So that is a very, very cool process. You can see right here, this one is already done. And here's that plate that holds the pressure and the foam in. They'll take that off, but this has foam all the way through the corner. All right, we can see these panels here. You can tell the difference between the 4.5 inch and the 6.5 inch. And this one actually has the beveled sides, so everything fits perfectly. I believe that's a roof panel. And then the EU panels. Here they are right here. See, here's those little plates they put on. That way when they go to inject the foam, everything stays inside. You can see some of the foam right there in that hole. And I believe right now he's taking it off. So we can see what it looks like. There he goes. It's like Christmas morning. Look at that, guys. Hard stuff. Hope you enjoyed watching me and Jordan, mostly Jordan, build my SIP walls. He already had this entire 1,600 square foot done yesterday. I slowed him down and we just did the top portion today. And again, he's finishing up and I am ecstatic about how everything turned out. They're gonna be shipping this to me very, very soon. I don't know if I'll be ready. I gotta get that solar power done before they can send this out. So I talked to Josh Beasley, the president of the company. He actually did an interview with me just a moment ago for their channel. They may hold on to this just a little while. They got lots of things to store, so they can't hold it on too long. Then they'll ship it out to me and I can start doing that subfloor and putting these walls up. So make sure you're subscribed to RidgeLife if you don't want to miss any of that going up on the ridge. We're going to do the subfloor, get all the walls up, get the top section on, get that ridge beam in, get the mono trusses on, get the roof decking on. Ooh, lots to do, guys, lots to do. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Again, hit that notification bell. Be notified anytime a new video comes out on RidgeLife. And guys, until next time, hope everyone has a blessed day and go RidgeLife.